Have you ever noticed that when life slows down or your resources feel a little limited, you start to see things differently? There's actually a science behind this. Previous research indicates that economic scarcity actually affects a person's judgment, their decisions, and their cognition in various contexts with various consequences. They hypothesize that scarcity can actually reduce a person's cognitive biases. Researchers found that when people believe they have less, whether that's time, money, or resources, they make smarter, clearer decisions. In an experiment conducted in 2023, people with a limited budget were more accurate in seeing what actually worked, while people that had more of an abundance fell for the illusions. This experiment did a phenomenal job at showcasing that when we're stretched thin, our awareness sharpens and we stop wasting as much energy on things that don't serve us. And in a season like this is the perfect time to start seeing through illusions to the truth and not falling into false cures when it comes to love, life, and self. I'm really excited to dive deeper into this topic, so if you're interested, let's get into it. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Tyla. Thank you so much for joining me for today's talk with Tyy Tuesday. This one is a super interesting social experiment that I found. I love a good social experiment, so let's get right into it. So this experiment was conducted in 2023 by a Venus, I don't know how to pronounce this and I don't want to butcher their name, so I'll put it right on the screen. In this study, participants were asked to assume the role of doctors, deciding whether to administer a drug to a series of patients. The drug was ineffective, as the recovery route of patients was identical, regardless of whether they took the drug or not. The researchers manipulated the budget available to purchase the drug, though all participants had enough funds for all their patients. The findings were revealed that participants in the scarce group reduced the use of the drug and exhibited a lower casual illusion compared to those in the wealthy group. When the participants transitioned from a state of scarcity to wealth, they continued to use fewer resources and maintained a lower casual illusion. And those moving from wealth to scarcity were unaffected by their previous experiences. And what I love the most about this social experiment is that it gives you another perception when it comes to scarcity. And this is not in any way to glorify scarcity and lack, but to show you the benefits and the positives and how you can use being in a situation like this to your advantage. And to also correlate this into our day-to-day and give you some examples on how you can use this to your advantage and some ways that it benefits you, I'm going to give you a few examples starting with time scarcity. So say that you have only 30 minutes to do a meal prep or to just do something, to get ready to go somewhere, to get a task done, and you have 30 minutes left. In moments like this, where you notice that your time is scarce, it really does allow you to focus more on the things that you have to get done and prioritize things that are most important. Limited time forces prioritization, which also helps to sharpen your mind in a way that will allow you to find more solutions and ways of doing things that if you had an abundance of time, you may not have picked up on. The next example is financial scarcity. Now, given the economic state of the world, most people are living currently in a financially scarce time. And when you do notice that you are financially scarce, this is usually the time where you really lock into your budgeting. You make sure that you're not doing as much casual spending and you're really paying towards the things that are actually important and the things that are meaningful to you. And this also helps you to make wiser financial decisions that actually add value to your life, as opposed to chasing the illusion of happiness through unnecessary things. The third example is emotional scarcity. So say you're in a season where you have a little energy for relationships and commitments, and you feel emotionally scarce. You don't have as much to give emotionally, and you're feeling like you want to be a little bit more reserved into yourself. This is actually a powerful place to be in because it keeps you from wasting time on meaningless connections or just giving your energy to things that do not serve you. And in these moments, it's actually also when your intuition sharpens, your discernment sharpens, you start to see things a lot more clearly and you learn more about who you are and yourself. The last example is creative scarcity. So say that you don't really have a lot of resources to create, but you're somebody that wants to create and you want to express yourself through different things. And this is also a really great moment to really be creative and start using things in your environment, start using things that inspire you, and sometimes your best ideas can come out of these moments. Now, of course, with all these examples and just scarcity in general, it has its negatives, but this is also just to shed light on the positive aspects of when it comes to scarcity and how it can benefit you if you are in a place where you feel like you are lacking in any way. And say even if you are abundant in resources, being mindful is also another key takeaway from this experiment. There's so many different things within our day-to-day that takes us away from being present and grounded. And a lot of times you have to make sure that you include mindfulness into your day-to-day. So all in all, I also really love that this experiment showed the importance of mindfulness and how being mindful leads to you making more intentional and effective decisions. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Talk with Tyy Tuesday. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also reflect on some ways that you can add more mindfulness to your daily routines. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and much love.